Tom waited in the car for his son to leave the house. It was his weekend with the boy, and like most 5-year-olds, the little one took forever to get ready. Previously, Tom would have helped him get dressed and find the socks that were scattered haphazardly around the bedroom, plus a backpack that would have been hidden behind a chair or in the closet. But the house belonged to his ex-wife's new husband, so Tom waited outside. Tom's ex, Randy, was probably chasing after Liam while trying to get ready to go out. This thought made Tom smile. She always felt stressed under pressure, and when she was stressed, she lost her temper. "Be on time, please," Randy commanded. "This dinner is important to Hank. He has clients coming from Asia. This meeting is crucial for his business." Tom remained silent during the telephone lecture. For example, he didn't say anything about how he was always on time or that it was Randy, Hank, and Liam who were always late. He also didn't say anything about not giving a damn whether dinner was important to Hank or not. Hank eventually talked Randy into bed with him while Randy was married to Tom. Tom didn't say that Hank only wanted Randy to be his sweetheart because her breasts looked good in a low-cut dress when he had dinner with clients. Most importantly, Tom didn't tell Randy that if anyone had asked Tom what he wanted, the answer would have been just a couple of minutes to disembowel Hank with a rusty knife and then strangle him with his own intestines. Tom even looked online and found a pair of waterproof work gloves that would keep the bloody guts from escaping his hands as he tightened the guts around the bastard's throat. However, he did not say any of this and simply remained silent, listening to the squeak on the other end of the line. He had something better in his pocket, waiting to be used. Neither Tom nor Randy had any conflicts over money. Neither of them lived in poverty, but Randy dreamed of becoming rich. Tom, on the other hand, was happy with a decent salary and a decent house. They met at a work event, dated for a while, and got married. When they met, Randy was in one of her dieting stages. She had poor eating habits and would eat in excess when she was stressed. Then, once she'd gained extra pounds, she'd go on a diet, using every miracle cure she could find, and work out like a maniac, sacrificing sleep to do it. She was thin for a while, but then she bloated again. Her family tended to be obese, which was an added challenge because they all suffered from severe hypertension. Randy went through the weight loss, weight gain cycle 3 times while she and Tom were together. Hank seduced her when she was in one of her thin phases, and she seemed to have managed to keep her weight off for the past 1.5 years. Tom realized that losing weight was going to be his key to solving this case. However, he ignored this. He only found out about it when Randy told him she was getting a divorce. Tom did everything he could to stall the divorce. He didn't try to save the marriage. He was trying to be an asshole. It was the only weapon he had. However, he had a good lawyer, a guy who was a friend of a friend. He fought everything. He even demanded consultation. This offended Tom. He didn't want to talk to her. But the lawyer reassured him, explaining that Randy wanted to talk to him even less than he wanted to talk to her, and that they could always withdraw the request. After all, Randy wanted to marry Hank, so she had an incentive to make things happen quickly. Tom's lawyer filed motions challenging everything, scheduled hearings, then rescheduled them, and then filed other motions. When it came time to argue the motion for counseling, Tom's lawyer withdrew the motion in court, as promised, after Randy and Hank had spent time and money preparing. Finally, after several months of arguing over everything, Randy wrote Tom a check and transferred all the common property to him. She even paid Tom's lawyer. Since she didn't have her own money, it obviously came from Hank. Tom called it a victory. The divorce was finalized just a month ago. Soon after, Randy and Hank got married. Tom kept Liam with him while the happy couple went on their honeymoon. Now is the time. The last part of the reckoning. And this case did not concern anyone's guts. The door opened, and Liam ran down the steps and down the path. He didn't understand why he had to live in 2 houses, but he adjusted. Tom strapped him into the car seat and gave him a tablet with a movie. Tom walked up to the house and knocked on the door. After a moment, Randy opened it, looking miserable. "Well?" She was trying to put on earrings, make sure her hair was perfect, text her new husband, and walk out the door in her little black dress and stilettos, all at the same time. "I have something to share with you," Tom announced with a smile. Randy always complained that his stories were long and boring. She was about to say something like that now, but Tom raised his hand. "It's about the lottery." This stopped her. Despite herself, she was interested. Randy's dream was to win the lottery, especially the giant ball. The prize value recently surpassed $2 billion, one of the largest ever, and the winning ticket was sold in their area. This story was all over the news, but no one made a claim to the prize. The intrepid reporter even reviewed CCTV footage from the store where the ticket was sold, but it was impossible to tell who bought it. Now, unfortunately, the time to claim the prize has passed, so the money simply returned to the prize pool. Some guy won $2.2 billion a few weeks later. Randy waited for Tom to tell the story, but instead of speaking, he showed the ticket. Randy narrowed her eyes to look at him. She was too vain to admit that she needed glasses. "This is the winning ticket," Tom said. "The $2 billion they were talking about when we broke up." He handed the ticket to her. Surprise showed on Randy's face. Yes, it was so. It has now expired." Randy looked shocked and frantically tapped her fingers on her phone, apparently searching for a number on the lottery website. She looked from the phone to the ticket and back again and finally looked up at Tom. Her expression went from shock to anger to fear, and then to misery before the cycle began again. Tom took the ticket back. The blood vessels at her temples were visibly pulsating. "You see, I bought it right before you hit me with the divorce papers, which was actually the day before they announced the winner. This would be part of the divorce proceedings. Of course, my share would be several $100 million after they took out the lump sum and then took away the taxes, but, and this is the important part, so would your share. And there was no way I was going to let that happen. Right. I refused a lot of money and did it out of spite so that you wouldn't get anything. That's how much I hate you. Now, you and Hank have a nice evening." Randy didn't say a word, but her jaw moved up and down, her neck muscles tensed, and she grabbed the door frame. Tom turned and walked towards the car. He expected Randy to follow him screaming, but nothing happened. She and Liam left. Randy's father called Tom on Sunday afternoon, when Tom usually was getting Liam ready to go home. One of the unwritten terms of the divorce was that Hank would not, under any circumstances, communicate with Tom or get close to him. Randy's father told Tom that Randy suffered a severe stroke on Friday night as she was getting ready to go out. Hank only discovered her when he returned from a dinner where Randy was not present. By the time she received medical attention, she was in poor condition, paralyzed on one side, blind, and unable to speak. Randy's father asked Tom to leave Liam for a while until she got the therapy she needed and returned to her normal life, whenever that was. Now Hank will have to spend a lot of time taking care of Randy. Tom agreed to keep Liam for a while, and on Monday asked his lawyer to file paperwork to make the temporary custody official. Hank didn't object to this. Randy couldn't. That night, before going to bed with a big smile, Tom took one last look at the lottery ticket and marveled at the world of possibilities that opened up when you had Photoshop and a reputation for honesty. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one. Listening